Ooh. Oh, that feels so good. Oh. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that felt fantastic. Alright, so we've got Slowbro. And as I've said before, pairing Slowbro with Assault Vest would make him an all-around really bulky Pokemon, because he's already got a lot of defensive bulk being Slowbro. And I've played against Bison before. I'm pretty sure that this is his all-out attacking, Assault-vested Slowbro. It seems weird, but it works out pretty well, actually. Alright, so we've got Jellicent. Jellicent? I think that's the fully evolved one. I don't remember. Sometimes I call things by their lower evolutions, just because that's the name that I'm most familiar with. Mamoswine is probably going to be the lead out, and that's something that we do need to be aware of, because Mamoswine is stupid fast. Stupid fast. So we don't want to lead out with Nidoking at that point, because Earthquake's going to take him out really well. Earthquake from Mamoswine will also hurt Scissor pretty bad. Electivire, we have to worry about a lot of punching moves coming our way. And then, oh god, no, not what I want. Enter all the Pokemon. Alright, so, like I said, Leavanny is new to us. It's a grass bug Pokemon, and then Zoroark might be coming out for some tricky hacks. So we'll have to pay close attention to what moves things are using, because Zoroark uses a lot of dark moves, and so if something seems fishy about a moveset, then it's probably Zoroark. Keep that in mind while we're playing, and we'll try and remember what we got going on. Alright, hello everybody, this is DKG's Avos. I really was expecting Mamoswine to come out first, that's why we went straight away into Walrein. Walrein is our special defensive bulky Pokemon, so we should be able to take something from Leavanny no matter what. He's also got a lot of bulk to him as far as defense, so we're not too worried about it. Now, it looks like Sticky Web's going to come out first, but we're not terribly worried about that just because... Oh, no, Frost Breath, why'd you miss? Our Pokemon are generally very slow. So hopefully Walrein's got enough defensive bulk that he can take that pretty well, so we're not too worried about it. We're good there. And what are we... What is this? What is this? Why are we missing so bad? That's terrible. Now, as I was saying before we missed everything, unfortunately, I mean, that's just kind of how luck happens. Sometimes you do miss. It's like 90%, so it's a really low percentage chance. It's like a 1% chance that would miss 2 times in a row, but it happens. But as I was saying, most of our team is actually fairly slow, so we're not too worried about the fact that our speed is down. But it does affect us, and it's something that we're going to have to keep in mind. It's like 0.67%, or 0.67 times normal speed. So we're reduced by about a third. Alright, so with that, I don't think that Leavanny is really going to want to stay in against Scissor. So we can either go for the U-turn and predict some sort of switch, or try and hit whatever comes in really hard. Based on what we saw on his team, I really don't know exactly what's going to go out for us. But I'm predicting Slowbro, and we're just going for it based on that. The reason that I said Slowbro is because Slowbro is generally very defensive bulky, and should be able to take a shot from even a Mega Scissor. I've got Thief on there. Thief got a huge buff from 5th gen over to 6th gen. So these are things to keep in mind. It used to be 40 base damage, now it's 60. That's a 6 followed by a 0 base damage, which means that Technician actually makes it pretty viable. Normally I used to run Night Slash on Scissor, but now that I realize that Thief's got that nice buff, we're going to stick around with this. So now we're going for a nice stab, super effective U-turn. Clearing out that Slowbro as quickly as possible. No, we didn't bother setting up Swords Dance. We didn't really want to sweep anything with that Scissor. We just wanted to clear stuff out. Alright, so now at that point, we should... We should probably send out Porygon. I'm thinking Mamoswine might be the next thing out. And we know that Porygon 2 is bulky enough to take most anything. But I'm not positive what's going to come out next. Mamoswine, if it was a blind switch, might be the next one out to set up some Stealth Rocks. But he's going to have something like Cross Chop, so we don't want to deal with that. So Porygon 2 is not going to be able to stick around against Electivire. We really don't want to send out any sort of Grat or Water Pokemon. But I'm sending out Meowstic because he's bold with max HP. So that bold, max defense, max HP, we're going to go for it. It looks like Brick Break here. And again, pretty good choice. And there are a lot of times that I will send in something like Walrein because he's crazy bulky, or Azumarill because he's crazy bulky, well, she because it's Maryland. And I'll send those out against something like Electivire, just because I know that they've got the bulk to take a fighting move. So you can predict that switch on me and go for some sort of an electric move. The only risk with that is actually Nidoking. If I'm predicting an electric move and sending in Nidoking, then that's going to be okay. I'm going to resist that 100%. If it's a fighting move, I still resist that pretty well. The problem is if he goes for an ice move next, because Electivire is going to outspeed me. Now, at this point, I'm going to start out by setting up a light screen. And I don't think there's a whole lot that he's going to have that's going to do super effective damage. But it looks like Electric or Wild Charge. Ooh, that's a lot more damage than I really wanted to see. I really don't want to give him Swagger, though. That's my biggest problem. I can't go for Thunder Wave because, well, Thunder Wave's just an awful idea. I don't know where I want to go here. I don't want to burn out Meowstic this fast, and I also don't want to have Scissor out again. I can't send out Nidoking against him, and I can't paralyze him, so I guess I got to go for the Swagger at this point. I set up the light screen just as a little bit of defense, not sure what Meowstic was really going to be able to take. So, let's take a risk here. We got to risk it. Go for that Swagger, try and get him to hit himself in his confusion. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But Meowstic's pretty much dead no matter what, so we got a 50% chance that he's going to hurt himself on our next Pokemon. So Meowstic's pretty much out of here. We knew that. We had a shot, we took it. But now we're going to take a big risk here and try and go for something else and see what we can do. And it's a big risk. It really is. I'm not even going to try and sugarcoat this. This is a huge risk that we're taking. We're going into Nidoking that's got super effective Earth Power. We've got a 50% chance that he's going to hit himself in his confusion, and a 50% chance that he's going to just OHKO Nidoking. He's probably got Ice Punch. There's that 50% chance. Gotta play the odds, though. Try it out. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. Nidoking, I wanted you to stick around, buddy. It's unfortunate. Alright, so now at this point we are going to have to go into Scissor, try and set something up. He does have +2 attack, and he hasn't punched himself yet. Scissor is caught in a sticky web. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get that Confuse Hacks in, but we got to play off of it again. We got to try and clear this thing out as best as possible. The Wild Charge is a really good shot against us, and that's exactly why we needed to play with that risk. So now we've got the Swords Dance up, and Wild Charge was going to hit Scissor neutrally, and we knew that that was going to happen, so we had to take a chance, because we're not going to be able to outspeed it with Scissor at the current state of the game. We had to just try and go for it. Get that Swords Dance up so that we could sweep out whatever came up next, because if we can take out whatever comes in next, then we've kind of leveled out the game a little bit better. So we had to set up the Swords Dance. Yes, we could have done Bullet Punch and potentially taken him out, but is what it is. Alright, so Leavanny. Leavanny is out here trying to bait a little bit that U-turn, and I'm not going to... Oh, Flamethrower. Uh-oh. We're going to have to look into Leavanny a little bit harder. I was expecting a U-turn bait there. Sorely mistaken. Mixed attacking Leavanny. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Alright, so now we got Porygon out. That's the biggest thing that we got going for us. We've seen Leaf Blade, we've seen Sticky Web, we've seen Flamethrower, and man, that thing is rough. We got Signal Beam on Porygon too, which might be able to help us out a little bit. We could go for Tri Attack, just to try and get something going status-wise. Maybe Paralysis, maybe Burn, something going on. I'm assuming that Leavanny is a little bit less on the bulky side. But wait a minute. Flamethrower. That doesn't make any sense. That was Zoroark. A grass bug Pokemon having Flamethrower makes 0 sense. And now that I'm reading the chat, it was indeed a Zoroark. Oh god, the tricks. The hacks! Get got, Avos. Get got. Ugh. Ugh. We got. That's exactly what happened. Now, we did have the light screen up and we still didn't survive the non-stab Flamethrower. But you can see that does help us out a little bit. That little bit of light screen. We do have the light clay on Meowstic because it was the best item for him. So we ended up doing that there. Got the paralysis. Yes! Reduced the speed down by a huge margin. So we should be able to outspeed this thing now. So it might not stick around. Or it might just stay around. I'm really not sure which he's going to go for. If he's going to burn it out on safe switch. Because I don't think that Zoroark would want to switch in at this point. It is basically a glass cannon. Aw, man. Running for it. Now Leavanny might actually be coming in. I doubt that this is going to be Zoroark switching in just because Zoroark probably not going to switch in on an attack to just eliminate itself here. We wanted to go for that little bit of Signal Beam just to try and get it, but... Man. What a fool, Avos. What a fool. Alright, we are running dangerously low on HP with Porygon 2. That's the biggest issue that we got going right now. He's not going to be able to survive anything at this point. Especially not a priority stab move from that. Walren's just going to have to come in and be death fodder. Ugh. We need Porygon to stay alive a little bit longer. If we can. Walren's not going to be able to do too much. I mean, at this point, we kept him in as a little bit of death fodder. Also, he's going to be able to absorb this Ice Shard pretty well. We're pretty happy with that. We know that we're not going to do anything with Hail. And we know that Earthquake should be coming out of him pretty soon. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be what's coming out next. So, straight away, I'm going to go for the Protect. Try and absorb as much as I possibly can. Yeah, if he's going to set up the Stealth Rocks or the Rock Slide, that's even better. Fantastic, happy to see that. But there is a chance to miss on the Rock Slide. So maybe, just maybe, we can get away with it. I don't know. Probably not. Walren, you're out of here. Bye. Bye, buddy. Good to see ya. Thanks for coming. Alright, now, this is the big risk that we've got going in. We've got a Azumarill. We've seen Rock Slide, we've seen Ice Shard, so we can be pretty certain that it is actually Mamoswine. That we can be certain of. It is an Ice-type Pokemon, so we can go for the Brick Break. It's also a Ground-type Pokemon, so we can go for Aqua Jet. We've got Play Rough, which is more powerful than both of them, and Stab. Go for the super effective, though. Go for the Brick Break. He is going to be faster than us. Oh, but he's going to resist it! Oh! Such hacks. Such play. Much wow. Alright, I feel like the next Pokemon to come out may well be Zoroark. And I can't be certain until I go for Play Rough. I just don't think that you would switch out a Mamoswine to switch it back in. There it is, extrasensory. Yep, that's Zoroark. Adios, buddy. We're not going to get got twice. Not going to happen. Alright, so now at this point we are extremely worried about this Mamoswine. I don't know what he's got that he can do. He's got the Rock Slide. He's going to outspeed us, so if he gets some pretty good flinches in, he could be pretty good. We do not have the Defense IV on this Azumarill, which sucks in a position like this. We know that we're not going to be able to outspeed him with the Aqua Jet if he goes for Ice Shard, but it's not going to be super effective against this. It's not going to be effective at all. We've got a decent chunk of HP still left. We should be good to go for at least one Brick Break and see what we can do. Earthquake's going to do a decent chunk of damage, though, so I'm really worried about it. I don't know. I don't know. Our only chance here is that he doesn't go for Earthquake and we survive. There's no way. Didn't go for Earthquake. He survived. Oh, yes. That is our only hope. That was legitimately it. That was the only chance that we had of surviving there. Oh, Porygon. With the handful of HP, there were just fingers worth of HP. Oh, this one's going to hurt, though. I really didn't think that I could take him out with Tri-Attack. I was hoping that we'd be able to survive something, but there's the game. GG. Oh, that Life Orb. Oh, that Life Orb.